welcome to Polar Transformations. I'm Christine, and this is my first furniture piece since my surgery. So I'm going to have to try and do this. Mostly one-handed. Getting better, but let's see. Gotta get it clean first. So hopefully this will truly be a trash to treasure. So somebody put this out for the trash, and it's a pressed board top, as you can see, and it had gotten wet somewhere. It's all kind of puffed up, and it's all scratched up, and it's really filthy right now because it was sitting outside in the trash. But it's in pretty good condition, and we're going to have some fun, and it's hopefully an easy piece for me to do with only one hand. I made my own mixture of Lysol all-purpose cleaning spray and water. Take this out. So the drawer looks like it's in pretty good condition. So I can hold things with my hand. I just can't really apply any pressure with it. That's a little awkward, but it's okay. We'll get through this project. Every week, every day, I get a little bit better. I'll clean the inside of that later. As I'm cleaning this, and I was really hoping to get away with minimal sanding, but all of this paint, let's see if I can finish wiping it off. I can't really apply any pressure to my hand, but that works. Let me see. Yeah, see how that's all chipping away. So I'm definitely going to have to come through and probably with my wire brush and scrape all of this off, everything that's loose. And look how gross the bottom of that is. Got a lot of cleaning to do. I got it most of the way clean, but I really can't scrub it very good, so I'm going to spray some watered down bleach on here for a couple of reasons. One, it was sitting out, so it had little spots on it. Want to make sure that that doesn't turn into mold or anything. I'm sure that it's just out. I'm sure that that's just dirt and stuff on dew, and it sticks and it becomes little spots, but I'm going to spray it down because the drawer slides in here, and make sure that that's all clean and all these little spots, and just make sure that everything is all disinfected before I start sanding it, because I don't want to grind any icky stuff into the finish. It's not wood, so the finish. Had some water in it before, gotta get that up. So I know you all love to see how gross and disgusting the water gets, so here you go. I have some sanding to do, and so I don't really have much use with this hand. I can kind of balance. It's getting better every day, but like to hold this, that's not going to happen. To actually do much with it, so I'm going to try and get as much done as I can using this. But there's a lot chipping off here, and I'm just going to scuff up the rest. I'm gonna get off wherever it's chipping, and where it's some of this, it might need some Bondo, because after I sand it, since it's pressed board, so this is a Bassett, but it's still not solid wood. So some of that might have to be touched up with some Bondo, but I'm gonna have to do that on the top anyway. Okay, little pieces of stuff flying everywhere. I'm gonna go put my safety glasses on. Better. Alright, so I'm wiping off all of the dust from the sanding. So I'm gonna go across the edges of this with some Bondo. This is a 2-part process, and I am almost out of it, so I'm gonna have to go to the store and buy more, because I definitely need it for on the top. It's kind of icky in my can because I am all the way at the bottom. So I'll stir this a little bit. I'll try and keep this in camera frame here for you. I have developed a liking of working with Bondo. I don't know, it's like a cool thing to work with. Let me cover this up. Okay, so this is the one part, and then you have this tube. Okay, so another learning opportunity for me. I don't know if this is going to work, but the lid wasn't quite on my hardener. So I cut open the container, and it's become pretty much a paste. I don't know if this is going to work, but this is all I have left. So I already pulled this out. You don't need a lot of hardener, and this is all I have. So let's see if this is still active. If I scrape it out of here, I mean, worst comes to worst, it's just not going to harden. That's okay, then I have to get more tomorrow anyway, but in the meantime, let's see if we can get this to work, because now it's all dry. So the more hardener that you do put in it, I don't know if this will work, if this hardener is still good, but the more hardener that you put in it, the faster that your Bondo is going to dry. And this dries really fast anyway. So you really need to work with it as quickly as possible. So I'm going to come through here and get it on my edge and smooth it over it. As quickly as I can. Try and keep that edge on top, because otherwise this is all going to look frayed from that pressed board. And scrape off, because once this hardens, it is hard to sand. So, and it feels like it is getting tacky already. So I'm going to come over here. Oh, it's already hardening up. Okay, so it's already hard. Okay, I'm going to use some of this. I've used it quite often. It is Rust-Oleum Professional Primer. It's in red. Yeah, I definitely can't spray with this hand. It is crazy how quickly that set up. So I went to the store and I got more. It's I don't know what the difference is. This one says original filler. The other one said something else, but it's all the same stuff. So nice new fresh stuff. Get some on my plate. I don't want to put again too much on here because it does set up quick. Not that quick, but it does set up really quick. Now this one that came with it, the cream hardener, is blue. And again, I am only putting a little dab of that in here because it hardens up really quick. And I don't have a ton of stuff that I have to do at a time. Okay. So I'm mixing it up, trying to get all the blue streaks out, and it is so hot out. So use the edge of that and then just kind of smear it along. All right, so I'm going to use some 120 grit. I am going to get this top all prepped. I'm just looking at it. There's like disgusting filth in between here. Get it all sanded down and smoothed out. Got to do some Bondo work on it. But I am going to attempt a paint pour on this. So I've never really done one. I play with them. They end up looking like ink blots. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll try it on here. A pressed board piece. Probably a good place to try. Okay, I totally don't know what that creepy bug was. You see, as I'm sanding this, to get all these chips, oh, I got a little more there. To get all these little scrapes out of the paint, it's just taking it right down to the pressed board here. So I'm gonna cover it with my red primer and do some Bondo work. I want to fill these in, make this all smooth. Now this is lower than the outside of it, so I want to leave this as a border. Got this brought inside and got primer on it, and in the light you can see all these rough patches. There's a couple of spots where it's still frayed. I'm gonna sand this down again and then see what I can do. I don't want for any of this to show up as I do the paint pour. Still needs a little bit more smoothing out. I am going to lay on a coat of white primer. It's latex. Because I want to do a little bit of distressing. That's why I put the red on. I'm going to paint it in white, distress a little bit so the red will show through. I want to show you something that as I was putting the primer on, I noticed happening, and I let it dry. I washed this, I cleaned it, so something's on here. Whether it's on the surface or if it's something with the finish that's on it. So there's something on here, and it went in little spots all across. So I'm going to try cleaning this and putting some more primer on it. Hi. Okay, I got this turned upside down. I am going to make sure I get all the underneath spots, and I am going to go over this with Rust-Oleum chalked linen white. So I was kind of back and forth because I want to do a flower blowout on the top. So I was like, oh, I wonder if I could do like, a green on the bottom. But then as I keep thinking about the top, I'm like, I just don't think it's going to match. So I'm going to go with the white, and then I've never distressed a piece. So I'm going to try doing that. And that's why I put the red underneath it, so that'll kind of show through. And I don't know, we'll see how it comes out. But I'm going to get a coat of white on this. And then once I get it all distressed, I get to play with the top. That'll be my first time ever trying paint blowing. And I don't know if you can do it with chalk paint. I've seen people, but they add other things. So I don't know. Could be a disaster, could be wonderful. We'll find out. Okay, I'm gonna get some distressing on it. When I had it upside down, I did a little bit on these edges here because I put a coat of the matte top coat on top of it. I'm going to do a little bit more distressing around here so that we can get the top coat on, and then I can work on the top. So I'll tell you, distressing on chalk paint makes a huge mess. I've got dust everywhere. All right, so I'm using the Minwax polyacrylic in the clear matte. The camera's upside down, the part that I can see, so it's like backwards from everything that I can see. Yeah, in the clear matte. So that's what I'm doing on the bottom of this. And now that I got it all distressed, I'm going to get 2 coats of this on. try and do a light one. I gotta watch my drips because I'm really bad with drips. Yay! Guess what I get to do? I get to start working on the top. Okay, I'm a little scared, but we'll see what happens. Okay, first I'm gonna put some black around the edge here and get this corded off. I don't know, is that a good way of saying it? So I'm gonna get a coat of paint, black paint over the entire top. So since I was doing this last, we've been through a hurricane and I had no power for 2 days. So while I could have been filming, I had no lights and I needed to use, for what I'm doing, a blow dryer, which obviously you can't use without power. So the power's back on, the storm has passed, everybody's good here. Prayers for everybody who didn't weather the storm so well. I think just not having power for about 24 hours, not that big of a deal for me. Okay, so this is what I've done so far. All right, so the top is painted, and I put a coat of just a top coat of the flat on it for now, and I'm going to tape this off, and then we are going to attempt to do some sort of blown paint art thing on top. We'll see how that goes. Okay, this is a really old hairdryer and I no longer have the diffuser for it, and I really didn't want to go and buy another one because I hardly ever use a hairdryer. And so I put tape on it, but I really want for this to like funnel. Okay, so I did. We'll see how that works. So I have a couple of things that I'm not so sure about. Or my consistency is different because they might just run together or not react the same way. Two, I'm using chalk paint. Are they going to dry too fast? I don't know. And I'm going to try my hairdryer. I can put on low, but as soon as you put it on the cool setting, it goes on hot. So I'm going to have to try and stay away. I have a very small area to work with. I taped off the edges, but I don't know. It's an experiment and it's just paint. So if it goes all bad, I guess we can paint it again. I want to spread the black out without it absorbing into the brush. So I'm going to use my kitchen baster. I might have to get a new one for the kitchen. So I'm going to pour this. Look, it's kind of chunky. Let's see. Oh, wish me luck. I hope that this comes out good. Okay, didn't like that at all. Again, created learning opportunities. I am going to try a small area at a time. So I got some red and some darker red and some white. And a tiny touch of the gold. Okay, this is totally turning into something different than was planned. But that's the process. Where'd it go? Okay. So it was not what I intended, but I kind of like the way that it came out. It's just an abstract, but I like the reds and the pinks. There's not really the gold in it, but I really like the way it came out. So I'm gonna let it dry, and then I'll take my tape off and then clean up all of the spots. This is why I put a top coat on it, so I could wipe that off. Okay, so I'll say, I was so worried about it drying too quickly for me to work with it. This is 2 hours later, and it is still wet. Like, it's still shiny, it's still, and it's chalk paint. Like, I don't know why. That tiny bit of the iridescent, which I don't even see in it, so I don't really know if it had any effect. But it's still wet, and it's been 2 hours. But it wasn't the flowers that I was originally going for, but it's kind of cool looking. I'm okay with it. It's the colors that I wanted, minus the gold. I don't know what I was really looking for, but it's not bad. Getting a layer of this satin top coat, just using my Minwax polyacrylic. Okay, let's see about finishing this thing up, because there is a hurricane going on outside. So let's put this back on. All right, so here's a little bit of hurricane footage for you. We just are getting the outer bands right now. My next door neighbor has this outrageously out of control cactus. Let me see if I can get in here. This outrageously out of control cactus. And if you can see, it's growing into their window. I don't know what that window goes to. Over here, it's growing into their roof, and they won't do anything about it. I don't understand. Okay, and it's a little bit icky out there, and we got lots of rain going on. But it's just the outer bands. Every once in a while, we get some big gusts coming through. So I'm going to try and get this video done and edited before we lose power. Wish me luck. Okay, I sanded this out, and I'm going to put this in, And I don't know if maybe, because I'm going against the curve, so that's probably going to make it harder. But I am not fabulous at putting these in. But that is, make sure I'm doing this the right way, the flat side. So I'm going to put that in at the front of the drawer. I'm going to do this. Okay. I'm going to put that in at the front of the drawer so that it is nice and straight. Maybe as straight as I can get it. Oh, okay. Now I cut it bigger. I know some people cut it right to size. I can't do that. I have such a hard time trying to even do these at all. And please don't rip. And I'm just going to, them sticking to each other. All right, so I'm gonna try not to make these big air bubbles. I'm just trying to get the center stuck down because it is way oversized. If I can get the center stuck down, then I can work from the inside out, because that's always the best way of doing it. Okay, so I'll get this all kind of tucked away in here. So, got it done. First piece that I've had done since I had the surgery on my hand. So it took a little bit. Have a huge piece that's coming up, one that I've never done before. And in light of this wonderful Hurricane Milton that's coming through today, I thought I'd break out my hurricane lamp, because until the storm passes, well, we can't turn on a generator if we lose power. So got the old-fashioned stuff. I, myself, like the old-fashioned stuff. But I hope that you like this. Top, well, I'm trying out my own, I'm trying out all of my newly acquired artistic skills. I don't actually have any. I am playing. I'm having a good time trying to learn, trying to copy what I see a lot of other people do. I love the way that it came out. It's very abstract. I love abstract stuff. But my original goal was to have like the flower type thing. Okay, that's not what I got. But I really like the way it is. And we'll see if somebody else likes it too, because I need to start selling some of this stuff. For any of you here in Florida, I really hope that you're okay through this storm. I am praying for everyone here in Florida.